Alright, welcome back everybody. The Ruckus Crawler here, aka the Rolling Stoner. And we got you on the workbench today. Got a lot of clutter going around, a lot of stuff happening over the last week. Got a little Boba Fett action figure to drive the Unimog. So thank you, Mandalorian Show, for there being swag coming out for that. Unimog is in pieces right now. I had a deadly encounter with a fucking dandelion of all things. The root, or the stem I should say, wrapped around the drive shaft and ripped it right out. So I was gonna maybe figure something out, Dremel it out and get an axial drive shaft in there, but I realized the drive shaft itself is just kind of bent. I used some pliers, bent it back. I don't know, we'll see how long it lasts, but in the whole ordeal as well, this inner axle got bent. I don't know if it really shows on the camera here, but yeah, they're not lining up too well, so I have to say, not too impressed for a dandelion. A dandelion took out the Unimog, but it's all good. It's gonna get repaired, it's gonna get a driver, but that's not what today is about. Today is about these, the little guy racing parts, Swamp Kings. I kind of do wish I put my pre-order in like the smart people did that were very excited for them, but it's all good. I got the order in there the day they came for re-release and just had to wait a little bit. It's all good, it's all good. As you can see, I got the Killaby here because that is where these tires are going to be going to replace the scramblers I have on it right now. And wow, first impressions here. Like, I know this is not even close to the first video out, and my camera is sucking at zooming in there. Ooh, look at that. There we go. Bring. Or do you want to go this way? Like, these things are cool. Very squishy. Very sticky. We'll see. In my scramblers, I have the foamies from the Baja Pros. See, these are sitting here, foamyless, my extra set of tires. And yeah, I just gave the scramblers so much more flex. So I might just do that again with these just to get an extra little squish out of it. But right out of the package, you could tell like the compound's really nice, and there's just, they're soft. The foam in there is really soft. So yeah. It's going to take me a bit. I got Dura rims with like a million screws on here, so I'm going to probably just watch a movie or something and take those all apart and get them set up, and I'll see you all in the garden for a test run. See you later. Alright, welcome back everybody. We are in the Garden of Wheeling. I got the Swamp Kings all mounted up. I got the camera set up here. We are at the original Gatekeeper, and let's just play around and see how they do. I am actually kind of curious. It was raining all night, and it's actually just starting to rain now as well. So everything's pretty slick. Everything's pretty slick. These rocks right here, yeah, geez, normally you would just slowly crawl right over them, but with the extra greasiness, we might actually have a challenge here for these Swamp Kings. But boom, you see that? That's a pretty nice one. That's a nice ledge that I normally struggle with, even in the dry. So here we go. Trying to get up the second ledge here, not a problem. Got to give it a little goose to make it up and over, but again, it rained all night. And it's raining right now a little bit. And it hasn't rained in a while, so everything's got that extra little greasiness on it. Ooh. Yeah, we might have an issue. Oh, yeah, and we tumbled. So that wall over there is my favorite kind of obstacle I got here. Just because it's the biggest ledge to walk up. And it's a funny one when you upgrade your vehicles. Some vehicles just climb up and over it no problem. Other vehicles want to tip backwards. It's a little greasy. Ooh, yeah, no, it's giving us issues. So the thing with this one is, typically I can't even do it in the rain. Like, this is a dry weather obstacle. but I figured I'd put the Swamp Kings on there and see what they have to say about it. But it's a fickly one. I mean, it's really easy to tip. Yeah, very easy to tip on that one. Oh, the killer bee is just getting it right now. Damn, I almost had it there though. I was kind of on the edge of it instead of being right on it. So like that's kind of another thing too, is the left side is the easiest side to go up that ledge, and then it gets progressively taller. Another thing that happens is my dog and even actually deer like to walk through the garden every once in a while, and that rock in particular that it's kind of the base for it gets pushed down, and then all of a sudden that like extra little inch makes a fucking big difference. But look at that, boom. Swamp King's getting up it. Took a couple tries, but like I say, that's a dry weather obstacle. No fucking question about that one. Most tire compounds I've used wouldn't even do it if there's any bit of moisture on there, and it's pretty saturated right now. And down it goes, so that's not too bad. I mean, given with the tires being so massive, like it's gonna add a little extra tippiness to it. Let's go up to this right side here. That's also another difficult line. Yeah, so you're gonna get a little tippier with bigger tires for sure, but with them being such a nice compound, they seem to be doing a pretty good job. Seem to be doing pretty good. Again, too, this here is kind of a more challenging line. Typically wouldn't even try it when it's wet out. I have a hard time doing it in the dry even. Ooh. Oh, that last part though, that last little ledge. Damn. So yeah, I mean, like I say, it's wet out here. I wasn't expecting these things to be like superheroes or nothing. I am very impressed just because I know how these obstacles work in the different weather conditions. And not too bad. Not too bad. Let's try this one more time. I want to try this one more time. And then we'll switch to a different location. Just so you know too, oh yeah, no, it's not liking that one right now. That little extra bit of height, and like I said, I can tell. Here, let's get up close. I could tell from my dog, and I haven't posted it, but I have a video of deer walking through here. They pushed this rock down, and that just added a little extra lip on there. And I thought to say I couldn't do it in the dry, but in the wet, that's a difficult one. I mean, I did it once, but it is a difficult one. So yeah, that's Gatekeeper 1. Let's get this reset up and we'll try it on Gatekeeper 2.0. So here we are. We're just set up at that bigger ledge here because I just wanted to get a better angle at this thing to show you all. Like, these tires are just incredible. Again, this is an obstacle that's typically a dry weather obstacle. So given the bigger tires are gonna wanna tip over a bit easier. But just look at that go. Boom, just grips, sticks and grips, superb. All right, here we are, Gatekeeper 2.0, test run, Swamp Kings, greasy conditions. So it started to rain, it stopped raining, but either way it rained all night. Everything is super wet in here. So the easiest line here is to go far left, easy peasy. No problem. Didn't think it would have an issue. I have to say, these tires are just gorgeous. Damn, they're big. Damn, they're gnarly. Damn, do I love them. Look at that. Just crawls up it. So here we go. We're going on to the natural face here. And this part of the rock can get pretty greasy. But in the damp, not an issue at all. Still have a couple gates set up from another video that we'll be releasing in the near future. But yeah, wow, that was impressive. I know on the first Gatekeeper it didn't look too impressive, but I know, like I said, it's a greasier section. It's more of a dry weather area. Where this one we got different kinds of rocks, different kinds of lines coming through it, and damn, that was good. That was good. So let's get this truck turned around, and I actually want to try getting over here. To the far right, because that's the more difficult line to get over this first kind of section of rocks here. And wow, look at that. That's cool. That's actually the smoothest I have ever taken that line on the far right there. Typically, I don't know if it shows up on camera. Here, I'll get up close for you. there's this little line here and this little ledge here. You usually got to get your tire kind of right on the lip of it to get up and over. And if you try it over here, you're getting hung up in here and over there. But with the size of the Swamp Kings and the stickiness of that compound, damn, that just made it look like nothing. And yeah, I still have those gates hooked up. Set up, I should say. One of the games I have is to see how far out on this natural rock you can go. And that was too far. Clearly too far. All right, now that we fell over here though, let's give this other little section a try. It's one of those ones too where clearing some big tires help. Oh, not that time. Nope. All good though. I am flipping a lot here. I'm also taking some pretty gnarly lines. As always, I don't come out here, I don't practice. I don't practice. I don't come out here and practice lines that I'm gonna film to make it look like, yeah, look at how amazing I am. I actually specifically like to come out here and just go at it. Like, I have done everything on this course for sure, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm this pro crawler. I'm just a dude that likes RCs and likes working on them. You can see a little bit of binding. Those tires are rubbing on the body a little bit. Not really enough to concern me though. No, not at all. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Tickle me frickin' pink on that one. So like I was gonna say, and I just started rambling about something different, is I know in the Workbench I mentioned I use the smaller foamies from my Mickey Thompson Baja Pros on my scramblers, and I was thinking about doing the same with these, but to be honest, the foam inserts that came with these tires, they're a little bit bigger than the Baja Pros, but they're also a little bit softer. So I figured I would just stick with the ones that came with it and give it a full out-of-the-box try, and so far, so freaking good. As you can see too, the wheels and everything is just crazy. So let's shut that down and we will go to the new kind of Gatekeeper area, not the Connect Art, the Killer Bee country. So let's go over there. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. This is the newest obstacle I've made. So I haven't actually ran this in the wet at all. It's also kind of under a tree, so it's not quite as wet, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of those obstacles. None of my other rigs can even touch it. And the Killer Bee just walks right over it typically. But yeah, see, a little bit of greasiness there. Might have to goose it to get it up onto that rock, which is fair enough. I mean, not so much slow crawling in the wet. You gotta rely on your power a little bit more. So let's just keep it going. There we go. And let's see if we can make it up this face, because this one is a bit of an incline. I haven't put a meter on it or anything to see how big of an incline, but oof, I don't know. These tires are pretty big. The Killer Bee is definitely a little more tippy than it typically is. I don't know. Unfortunately, here we go. Let's goose it. Oh, nope, that's a big fall. Oh, knocked the camera over and everything. Ah! But yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I mean, not super surprised. Because, yeah, like I say, with bigger tires, I mean, you are going to have a better chance of tipping over. So let's just try it again, though. Not discouraged yet. Still have a couple of ideas, ways to run the suspension and whatnot. Ooh, yeah, no, she's a greasy one today, boys. And gals, if there's any gals watching. But yeah, no, it's greasy. That little bit of moss on there too, right before the transition, really makes it more difficult than it needs to with the wet, for sure. Just adds that extra grease layer. To any parts manufacturers that might actually see this, you'd be like, that's why he's going through so many inner axle shafts. And well, that's true. I go through quite a few of them with my setup in this course. Don't blame that on the equipment. That's all just, I like to push my stuff. Yeah, geez, unfortunately, I don't know if we're gonna make this right now in the grease. I would be interested to try it again, because that first go didn't really feel like it was the grease. It just felt like the truck itself wanted to tip. Oh, and we go one more. All right, let's just give this one more try, just because, you know, if you don't do something, don't give up. Try again. That first go we made it right on that face, and I'm pretty sure Damn, yeah, this one's getting greasy. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more testing with these tires. Like again, the Killer Bee is a rock crawler. It's not a mud bogger, and these are like big gnarly super swampers. So I mean, if worst case scenario, they're just a little too big for the kind of hardcore rock crawling I like to do, I'm just gonna put the scramblers back on the Killer Bee, and then these tires will be designated for a mud bogger. Maybe the Unimog, maybe the Bronco. Yeah, jeez. But yeah, unfortunately, at the moment, it doesn't look like we're gonna make it over there. There is one more line I can try. If we go past this part, we can get it. Oh, there we go. Ooh, right over the edge. Yeah, you can hear these tires binding up on the body. They are not massively bigger, but they are definitely bigger than the scramblers. So these are some big tires, and then those knobs on there too. They're just so aggressive. Look at that though, that is impressive. With greasy wheels and everything, it just crawled up that like nothing. So yeah, I have to say, I am pretty happy with these tires. Like, I don't run easy lines. My course ain't the easiest course out there. And even in the wet, these things are eating it apart. So let's get this reset up and try and get over the Rock Nest Monster. Right, so here we go. Haven't even moved the rig. It's just up on top of that new Gatekeeper that I've made. And let's just get it up into the River Bedlam, if I can. Jeez. Yeah, it's one thing. I mean, I'm no pro. This is actually my first build I've ever built. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have my suspension totally dialed in or anything. I know a lot of people run no springs. I might try that with these tires just because I get the clearance I need from the size of the tires. But because of the obstacles and ledges being my favorite kind of obstacle, I do like having a bit of suspension on there just so, you know, you got that clearance for your belly pan when you're trying to get up these kind of next step ups. But here we go. Like, if you can't see on film, ooh, we lost it. That's too bad. Yep, there it goes. Oh, shoot, that's a reset. I'd say that's more driver error than anything. I mean, I was just gonna say, if you could tell, the rocks on this side of the Rock Nest Monster are all river rocks, so they're very smooth and very slippery as soon as they get wet. Any moisture on these rocks at all, and that's it. Your grip is just fleeting. But look at that. Still, like nothing, just crawls right up and over it. Like, yeah, I am very happy with these. You can see there a little bit of slide because that rock is got moss or whatever, and now that it's a little bit wet, it's just, yeah, it just wants to slip. So again, this is another one of those obstacles. It's more of a dry weather obstacle, and these fucking Swamp Kings just dominate it. So I am realizing it's again driver error, not equipment error. I'm more of a crawler, although my name is Ruckus. I do like to give her, but for the most part, you know, I love those slow crawls. I love my Fury Tech Lizard Pro, and I love the brushless combo that I got with it. I just love how slow this thing can crawl up and over stuff, but not every situation is a slow crawl. Sometimes when it gets a little greasy, you gotta just use your power and push on through. And other times you can just slowly crawl right over it. So here we go, top of Rock Nest. See if we can make it down this side. Ooh. Yeah, looks like it might want to slip over the back, but it's hard to say. It's doing pretty good. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, it's always a toss-up with these things. Dialing your rig in, finding out what you want. Do you want more ground clearance? Do you want lower center of gravity? Do you want mud tires? Do you want rock tires? What kind of terrain are you running? And for me, although I love rock crawling, I also like a well-rounded setup. I mean, if there's a mud puddle in my way, I want to go through it. If there's some loose sand or gravel, I want to go over it. But the main thing though is if there's rocks, we are crawling it. So boom, That's Rockness Monster both ways. With the Swamp Kings. Little guy racing parts. Just killing it. And yeah, here we'll pull in close. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but also, while I put the tires on yesterday, we got Dirt McGirth, the Osiris of this shit. Old dirty bastard himself is the driver of the Killabee now. Pretty stoked on that. what a mod to do. Yeah, what a cool little shot there too. You can just really see these tires going. Little shot of the brushless. All right, so let's get set up and let's try another one. All right, so here we are. We're set up just on the other side of the Rockness Monster. You can see to the right there is where you come down off the Rockness Monster. And this obstacle here has to be probably my worst success rate. I'd crash on this obstacle more than any other one I made. Mainly just because of that crawl right there. Wow. That getting up onto the ledge I'm on is extremely difficult a lot of the times. And it just made it look like nothing. Again, in the wet. And boom, right up that ledge. So you can see, with the extra height from these tires, it's a little more difficult for the rock crawly situations when you're trying to get up and over a ledge. Not to say it ain't gonna do it though. Like, I am very impressed, very happy. Let's see if we can get down it. Look at that. Not out of it yet. Oh, just got it. Nice. That was a close one, but we made it. So like I say, this obstacle, crunching, munching. But yeah, this obstacle, I have the worst success rate on it. I've actually probably failed doing it more times than I've successfully done it. And you always kind of got to go over to the edge. My goal is one day to be able to just go straight up it. And I almost actually think with these tires in the dry, we might be able to do it. I don't know. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for another day and try it then. But I'll take that as a success. That was pretty good. Still made it up it. Slow crawled it. Up and over and back down. So again, that's funny. I know they call these the Swamp Kings. Those treads on there are just so aggressive, but look at that compound. Look at that. Those nubs coming off the tread are just trying to bite into sheer rock to get me up on there. Ooh, we fell over though. All right, well, I'm gonna call that the end of this part, and let's get set up and try another one. All right, I just have one more I wanted to try here. As you can see, the gates in front of me were actually set up to go down, not up, because this little area in here has always been trouble to me. Barely make it up and over. Barely make it up and over. Never make it up and over this thing. So let's see. Let's see, what are these Swamp Kings gonna do? Are they gonna do it? Yes, they are. That is goddamn impressive right there. Like, not only did they just go up an obstacle, but I have failed literally 99% of the time. It feels like one time I did it just perfectly, and I don't know if it was my setup or if like there was a rock that was just in the right position, but I've tried this line so many times since then and failed and failed and failed. So yeah, look at that. Swamp Kings in the wet, up and over what has been one of the craziest lines on this course. Boom, twice, not a fluke. It's legit. These tires are legit. Like I said, if you're interested in them, if you're even thinking about it, I highly suggest it. These tires are awesome. I know not everybody's into super big tires. A lot of people like to keep it scale. Nothing against that. Each their own, but I do like my big sticky tires. And these are some nice big sticky tires. Look at that little bonus one too. Let's just go up and over here. I'm getting overconfident now with these tires. The grip, the clearance, the capabilities. Ooh. Went too far to the passenger side there though. Oh God. Yeah, we're gonna have to try that one. My inner axle shafts are just like, why haven't you replaced enough of us? How many of us must die before you learn how to wheel properly? Ooh, yeah, I don't know. We are greasy here. We are greasy. So
So it's another one of those situations. Sometimes you just gotta give it that gusto, and right over it goes. So yeah, these are just great. What can I say? Just great. I have the little guy racing transmission, which has been super solid, no issues with it at all. And now I'm super stoked to have these. I keep talking about my inner axle shafts and how I keep snapping them. So I did actually order the little guy racing. I don't know if they're stainless steel or what they're made out of, but I got their CVD axle shafts. So when we snap another set, which is inevitable, we will just move on to those and see how those last. And yeah, I don't even think we'd be able to do this one. Like, this is just another one of those greasy rocks, and it's just all wet. Ooh, look at that though. You give it some gusto and away you go. So again, like, geez, the more I sit here and ramble and the more I play around with these tires, the more I am just loving them. Just super stoked on them. So I bet if you put some flubber in those or something too, you would just get that much more flex and grip out of them. So I don't know, next time I'm working on stuff, I might take the stock foams out and try the Mickey Thompson foams, just because they are a little bit smaller. But all in all, I'd say right out of the box, these tires are good to go with the foams they have. Like, just great, just phenomenal. What can I say? I'm very happy right now. Thank you very much, everybody. We're gonna move to the next one. All right, so this is another really good test here for these tires. So as you can see, that white rock kind of in the middle of the shot here is another one of those slick kind of river rocks. And in the position it's at, taller trucks want to just flip. When this thing was the Ram Charger, couldn't do it. I tried so many times, couldn't do it. My stock C10, you gotta pin it, but it would just go right over it. And look at that. Swamp Kings, no problem. Oh, look at that, saved it. Not a problem. So that's pretty impressive. I was gonna say Ram Charger, Mickey Thompson's, Baja Pros, they were too tall, couldn't make it. Scramblers, forget about it, definitely couldn't make it. Killabee with the Scramblers could make it because the Ram Charger, big boxy old school SUV. Killabee more of like a buggy. But yeah, look at that. Biggest tires on the market. Killabee just walks over it like nothing. I'm sure on camera it doesn't really seem like much, but like I say, it's a slippery rock and it's kind of bulbous and it likes to just flip trucks right over. And we just did it. We just walked right over it like it ain't nothing. So in my opinion, that is a pretty good test of these tires right there. It's like an obstacle that typically flips taller tired vehicles over. And another thing, an obstacle that just makes trucks lose their grip. And these tires just gripped right on it. So that's pretty sweet. I have to say, I am very happy with these. Very happy with these. Let's just cut this over a little bit here. I guess I should probably just edit all this out, but here I know. Let's go. So this is another one. When I first made it, it was kind of harder. This guy here. It's another slippery rock to try to get up on. But to be honest, over my time wheeling, it seems like it's just gotten easier and easier. Vehicles just walk right up it. But here we go. Climbing. And boom. Over the top. So yeah. Damn. I am impressed. I'd like to kind of dial these in a little bit more to make the rig not quite tip as much, but as you all can see, it is still very capable. And with having that extra little bit of clearance from those big tires too, I mean, that is always a good thing. So yeah, like all kinds of obstacles in here. And we're not really having issues with any of them. And again, it's wet out today. It's not raining now, but it was raining. Everything's still wet, and all these rocks with the moss on them as well are just ice. They're just like ice patches. They're just so slippery. Can we make it? Nope, we're tipping. Oh, we're tipping. That's gonna happen. That's the fun of it. You can't just try the easy line every time. You gotta push it, eh? You gotta give it a push. So let's just reposition this for one more shot. Right here. We're not going anywhere. just reposition this where you can see those pylons to the right. That's a video that's going to be coming out soon where I set up like a little course. And I haven't done that obstacle in I can't even remember how long. And for whatever reason, I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, just with scramblers, the day I filmed, I could not get up and over this obstacle. So, let's send the Swamp Kings at it. See what they have to say about this obstacle. And here we go. So far, so good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the rocks have shifted or if I've put smaller suspension in it since I made it, because I do remember when this obstacle I first made it, it was a hard one. Like, you basically had to take it just perfectly to make it up and over. And now I'm just having difficulties. So, again, that's not the equipment's fault. I'm not saying it's impossible, just saying for whatever reason I don't seem to be able to get that one right now. So, thank you very much, everybody, for joining me once again for one of my fucking ramblings on and on and on, just always rambling. But yeah, little guy racing parts, Swamp King mud terrain tires. If you've been looking at them and you're interested, I highly suggest them. I am super happy. As a lot of you know, I'm sure, I am just obsessed with the Mickey Thompson Baja Pros. But they didn't quite have the stickiness, and they didn't quite have the height that I wanted for the Kill a Bee build. So that's why I put my scramblers back on there. And then as soon as I saw these tires, I was just like, wow, damn, they look very similar to the Mickey Thompsons, but with that extra height and with that extra soft compound. And I am very happy with them. Very happy. You just pick that line and away she goes. So yeah, thank you once again for everybody showing up. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to tumble. No, feel free to like and subscribe. More content coming out regularly. And yeah, hope you all have a good day. Catch you on the next one.